Alright, Game Week 8, Premier League review, let's go. Starting off with the huge London derby between Tottenham and West Ham. I predicted a 2-1 Tottenham win. They absolutely ran away with it. But in the first half, West Ham were actually quite good. They had the first big chance of the game through Mohamed Kudus. He did miss, but he scored a very similar chance not too long after to put the Irons in the lead. Dejan Kulusevski, though, once again, world-class performance playing as a central midfielder, got the equaliser. Tottenham went in at 1-0, assisted by James Maddison, who then went off. Sarr came in, Tottenham scored 3 goals in about 10 minutes and just completely ran away with the game. Bassoon made it 2-1 after some brilliant work from Son and Udogie. A horrible mix-up between Ariel and Tadiba made it 3-1, then Son made it 4-1, and he almost made it 5-1 20 seconds after that. Second half, West Ham were all over the place. They had no structure. Tottenham were playing them about. It was men v boys. And then Mohamed Kudus decided that he just wanted to hit a few people in the face. He booted Van de Ven on the floor, hit him in the face, then he hit Sarr in the face. Somehow the referee saw that and only gave him a yellow card, and also gave Van de Ven a yellow card for doing nothing before VAR intervened and said, mate, go and have a look at that again. And then Kudus got a red card. I don't understand how Van de Ven got a yellow for that though. But what I will say, yeah, is if you are going to get sent off, you might as well go out with a bang like Kudus did. Although it was incredibly stupid because he probably will get at least a 5-game ban. And if he doesn't, it's very, very poor from the FA, I can't lie. But I do rate Kudus not giving a shit. Fulham against Aston Villa, I predicted a 2-1 Villa win. They won 3-1. And Fulham actually took the lead after about 5 minutes. It was a proper non-league goal, punt from the keeper. Pau Torres, awful defending. Jimenez made it 1-0. But Rodgers then equalised straight after for a massively deflected goal. Pereira missed a penalty for Fulham. Good save from Martinez, but it was an awful penalty. Shouldn't have been given though. Rodgers should have had his second, but he missed an open goal. Ramsey was phenomenal in this game. He created a lot of good chances. But Watkins scored yet again. He's in a real good run of form now. 5th goal of the season. Before Fulham got a red card, correct decision as well, Anderson. And then the guy that came on to take up his position scored an own goal. Before Philogene got himself sent off as well. Pretty aggressive game. But yeah, Villa, once again, very good. Fulham did do themselves proud though for 10 men. You know, although this does mean they've now lost 2 games in a row. Although, you know, they were very competitive in this one. They should have probably beat Man City last week or before the international break. And that is Fulham's first home loss of the season. But Aston Villa, a great win. Keeps them within touching distance of top spot. Ipswich Town against Everton. I did get this one wrong. I thought Ipswich were going to get their first win of the season because I didn't know that Jacob Greaves was injured. Alright, cut me some slack. And they should have had the lead because Clark missed a very easy chance at the start of the game before Calvert-Lewin did the same thing. A horrible Wes Burns mistake gave Iliman and Dyer the chance, but Everton won up, which he took very well, by the way. He's been really good. Jack Clark then dribbled past 4 players and thought he'd won a penalty, but it was correctly overturned by the referee after he looked at the monitor because he did kick McNeil's leg, and it was very similar to what happened to Everton against Newcastle. The second Everton goal though was world class from McNeil. He had 4 players around him. Yeah, he kept the ball. He played a perfect pass to Michael Keane, who just blasted it in off his weak foot in the near post. It was a brilliant strike. This guy's a centre-back. Stick him up front, man. Literally, he's probably going to be better than Calvert-Lewin. Once Bramford is back, yeah, they've got a new striker. It's perfect. And Everton finally actually saw out a game in which they had a 2-0 lead. Ipswich are still winless now though, and this wasn't a great performance from them. But Everton, 4 games unbeaten now. 2 clean sheets in a row. Without Bramford in both of them as well. Like, this is a great result for them. They're now clear of the relegation zone. They won't be in any relegation danger. But for Ipswich, it's a very bad result because they needed to win this, I think, if they were going to have a decent chance of survival. I know it's very early on and a lot could happen from now to the end of the season, but I think it's very unlikely they survive given this result. Man United against Brentford did bang this one. De Ligt got a horrible head injury in this game and he got kneed in the head, yeah? And Brentford got the free kick from that challenge, which just makes no sense. And the goal actually came from De Ligt having to be off the pitch because his head was bleeding again. And the referee was like, nah, go get it sorted out. And Brentford scored from the resulting corner. If De Ligt was on the pitch, that wouldn't have happened. But obviously I do understand why the referee sent him to the side because it is dangerous. You know, if he headed the ball and then he just fell unconscious, it would have been a ref's fault. So I can understand why he did what he did. But in the second half, Manchester United came out firing. Ten Hag made a good tactical switch by playing Garnacho on the left and Rashford on the right in this game. And Rashford's cross to Garnacho, perfect, and it was a great finish as well. Højlund also scored a beautiful goal, a very nice flick from Fernandes and a brilliant chip from the Danish man. And Man United were fantastic in this game. When I saw the lineup, I was a bit worried because they had Casemiro and Eriksen in the middle and I was like, there's no legs in there. They're going to get overrun. And they didn't. They held their own. It's yet another game where Brentford have taken the lead away from home and lost, which is not great from them. But again, it is a big club that you'd expect them to lose to. But given how Man United were playing, I think Brentford should be really, really disappointed in themselves because they were awful. Fair play to Ten Hag though. I do still think Manchester United's future is brightest when he is not at the helm. But he set the team up perfectly in this game. Newcastle against Brighton, I got this one horribly wrong. I predicted a 4-1 Newcastle win, ended 1-0 to Brighton. With that being said though, at 0-0, Veltman clearly handled the ball in the box and a penalty was not given somehow. And the Newcastle attackers were just, I don't even know what was going on. Murphy blocked an Isak shot that could have been going in. Then Isak missed a one-on-one. A minute later, Brighton have the lead after the first shot of the game. Danny Welbeck put it away. He's had a fantastic start this season. In the second half, there were a lot less chances. Brighton managed to take control of the game somewhat. They had a lot more of the ball. But I think Newcastle were very unlucky to lose this because the first half was all them and the goal came completely against the run of play. Mitoma was pretty dangerous for Brighton in the second half, but yeah, there wasn't a lot of quality. This does now mean Newcastle winless in 4 games. It was also their first loss at home in 12 games. But for Brighton, a great win again after a fantastic win before the international break against Tottenham. To come to St James's Park and win is a brilliant result, and they're back on form. Southampton against Leicester. Wow, what a game this was, man. Southampton took the lead and they were fantastic in the first half. Cameron Archer scored again, my boy, come on. 2-2 for him before Joe Ariba made it 2-0. Leicester were dreadful, they were awful, they were doing nothing. But in the second half, it completely changed the moment that Abdul Fattawi stepped onto that football pitch. He assisted Buonanotte, them two are going to form a formidable duo, and with Mavididi and Vardy, that is going to be a dangerous front four that will give every team in the league problems. And speaking of Facundo, once again, my boy was brilliant. I'm telling you, Ballon d'Or is coming for him. At 2-1, I will admit Southampton should have had a penalty after Onuachu was getting pulled back. But Russell Martin is an actual clown, man. This guy, yeah, Sugawara, fullback, got injured. Right, happens obviously. Russell Martin takes him off for Ryan Fraser, who is a 5'4" winger. You know, and it's just stupid because, first of all, when you're winning 2-0, you want to defend a bit better, do you not? So why are you bringing on a winger in defence? Second of all, he's 5'4". What happens when a team's chasing the game? They put a lot of crosses in. Guess where they're going to be aiming all their crosses, mate? At the back post. Who's going to be there? Ryan Fraser. He's not going to win a single one of them. And the Leicester equaliser came after Abdul Fattawi had a shot saved on the line by Aaron Ramsdale, and Ryan Fraser just pulled Vardy back and prevented him from getting to the rebound. A correct penalty call, a correct red card. Obviously Vardy put the penalty away right at the end of the game. Jordan Ayew scored from a corner. Ramsdale so close to keeping it out, but what a win for Leicester City. Brilliant, brilliant scenes. You know, I think Russell Martin has no one but himself to blame. Why would you take Sugawara off for Ryan fucking Fraser? It makes no sense. And Southampton have now bottled both games at home against the two teams they were promoted with. They've got 1 point in 8. Where do they get a win from? Who are they going to get more points from? I really can't see many more games in which they get points if they keep Russell Martin. They are already relegated if he is not gone by the next international break. He has to go now. But for Leicester City, what a win. 2 wins on the trot. They've got 9 points now. They're 8 points clear of Southampton. Bournemouth against Arsenal. Oh my god, I got this one wrong as well. I predicted 2-0 Arsenal win. They lost 2-0. Now, I was just bewildered by Mikel Arteta's decision making and the starting lineup he chose, yeah. Mikel Merino is proving to be an obstacle rather than a solution. Ethan Nwaneri should have been given 30 minutes against both Leicester and Southampton before the international break to get him ready for this sort of game, because if Odegaard isn't going to be fit, they need a creative midfielder. Mikel Merino is a 6. I don't care what anyone says here. When Declan Rice is playing, he should be in the 8 with Merino in the 6. Merino should not ever be taking Declan Rice's position when Declan Rice is still on the pitch, right? And this game he played as a 10, which is just even more stupid because he's not who you want in there. But obviously Nwaneri couldn't start because he's not been given any minutes. And next week they've got Liverpool. If Nwaneri had got 30 minutes against Leicester, 30 minutes against Southampton, even 30 minutes here, or if he started this, or half a game here even, he might be, he might feel like confident, full of ready to go for Liverpool. If Odegaard is out for Liverpool, where does their creativity come from? Because if Timber's also out, that's a big source gone. Bukayo Saka's doubtful. Like, why did he not give Nwaneri more minutes? It was a really boring start to the game because of that. Like, Arsenal just had no creativity, and then Saliba got himself sent off. A little bit harsh, but what was Trossard doing? I don't know. And yeah, he got himself sent off. I can understand why he was sent off, but at the same time, there was a lot of distance between him and the goal, and Ben White was on the cover. I think he could have got there. His best chance did come through Marino, but he missed, and then Semenyo missed a sitter. Martinelli then had a huge chance that he missed, and then Bournemouth scored off a corner routine. A brilliant goal against the Corner Kings themselves, and then they got a penalty after Raya did take out Evan Nilsson. Brilliant result for the Cherries. Damning result for Arsenal, and they have to beat Liverpool now next week, because if they don't, that title, it might be gone. Wolves against Manchester City. I did bang this one, but I feel for Wolves. I was very happy that Pep Guardiola dropped Phil Foden, because he's just overrated and he cannot be a 10 on his own. He's proved that. Wolves scored straight away though with their first shot of the game. It was a brilliant counter-attack, and they almost made it 2-0 after another dangerous counter-attack. Semedo probably should have finished it, but then Josko Gvardiol, arguably the most talented centre-back technically on the planet, another screamer on his weak foot. The boy can just do it every game. He's incredible. And my boy Doku assisted him as well. If you lot watch my QPR career in FIFA 21, I signed both of them and they were both brilliant. And it's just really nice seeing combining in real life now as well. But Saar made a lot of good saves. Like, there were about 3 or 4 really good saves that he made. But in the second half, Man City were really bad, because for some reason Pep Guardiola decided to play Doku on the right with Savinho on the left. And I'm like, what? Why? It was working fine in the first half. Why do you swap them over where they're both clearly weaker? Yeah, Saar made another good save from a Diaz long shot, but right at the end of the game, Manchester City won it. From a corner routine, a bit controversial. I think it was slightly lucky to be given, because Silva was interfering with Saar, but he did get out of the way before John Stones made contact with the ball. And I don't know if Saar had enough time to react though. So I think it was lucky he was given. I think it was the other way, it might not have been given, but at the same time, it's just one of them, innit? Another great win for Man City. It's another game where they just haven't played very well. That's 4 Premier League games in a row where I have not been impressed with them. Liverpool-Chelsea, I predicted a 2-2 draw, ended 2-1 to Liverpool. Very even game in my opinion. Chelsea actually started very well. You know, they were controlling more of the possession. But Sanchez should have had a penalty after Alexander-Arnold stepped on his foot very clearly. Somehow that wasn't given. Although for the most of the first half, he did deal with Sancho very well. Chelsea gave away a penalty themselves. Colwill, really stupid challenge on Curtis Jones. Salah made it 1-0. Pretty boring first half, and straight away in the second half, Chelsea equalised through Nicholas Jackson, and then Curtis Jones just went and put Chelsea back 2-1 down. He was brilliant in this game, by the way. What a performance. He completely man-marked Cole Palmer the whole game, didn't give him a sniff, and yes, one of the best performances of the season. The big difference in this game was how solid Liverpool were defensively compared to Chelsea, because their 2 centre-backs were horrendous. Gusto in the first half wasn't very good either. Both midfielders, both central midfielders for both clubs, were fantastic in this game. When Neto came on though, on the left, he did terrorise Alexander-Arnold for a fair while. Madueke was Chelsea's most dangerous player on the right, but they just didn't give him the ball enough. And Reece James returned as well, which is always nice to see, because he is a class player. Even though I don't like Chelsea, it's always a pleasure to watch him play, because he's fantastic. And I thought he had a decent game. Finally, Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. I banged this one as well. Both teams weren't at full strength though. Palace started without Wharton and Mateta as well. Forest were without Morgan Gibbs-White, but this was a fantastic game. Eze almost scored a screamer. Before Elliot Anderson dribbled past 4 or 5 players and almost scored a beauty himself. He's proven why he's been called the Geordie Maradona. He put in 2 or 3 really good crosses to Chris Wood, which he should have done better with, man. It was like watching Kevin De Bruyne. He was incredible. And Nketiah then almost scored a screamer. Wood scored a really nice goal. Poor goalkeeper from Henderson, but it was a brilliant technique from Chris Wood. And Sells made a couple of really good saves off from Schlupp, Eze. But yeah, overall, man, Forest, once again, proven really hard to break down, because if you can get past Milenkovic and Murillo, you still got to get past Matt Sells, who's been fantastic so far. First home win for Nottingham Forest, a brilliant result for them. Obviously, they'll be looking to build on this in the coming games. Elliot Anderson playing as the 10 in this game, honestly, one of the best performances I've seen. It was so nice to actually see him playing, because at Newcastle the last couple of years, he's been injured a lot. Now he's actually getting game time, he's been phenomenal. Crystal Palace still winless. They need to get a win sooner rather than later, because this can't go on for much longer. That's what I thought of the game. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.